Toronto -3, feels like -11. A few clouds coming up at 8 o'clock. NHL All-Star Weekend is headed to Toronto next year. Durham Police will be giving an update shortly about a sudden death investigation, and historical trees at Osgoode Hall might be cut down to make way for the Ontario line. City News Time 7:53.
During cold and flu season, blood and plasma inventories have fallen to concerning levels, and there is an immediate need for donations to help ensure patient need is met. Make all the difference and book today at blood.ca.
Right now, we are in the most difficult weeks to fill appointments. We need new and existing donors to support patients by filling 5,530 open appointments in Toronto. Book your blood or plasma donation now at blood.ca. Located at Yonge and Bloor, 67 College Street, and King University.
When you need to know.
On the go.
Well, nobody is spared from this rain and snow across the GTA as this winter storm rolls in.
The most accurate weather reports in the city, with traffic and weather together every 10 minutes on the ones.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather.
This is City News 680. Everywhere.
City News Time is 7:54. If you need something to do on this Saturday night in the city, you can head to the Smith House for a Black History Month party supporting charity. The party will celebrate Black History Month music, food, and culture while supporting the Sickle Cell Anemia Foundation and Sick Kids Hospital. Sickle cell anemia affects Black Canadians, and a portion of proceeds will benefit the Sickle Cell Foundation for research and finding a cure. DJ Dave Campbell and Carl Allen will be bringing you the best of R&B, hip-hop, 90s, and reggae music all night. Doors open at the Smith House on College Street at 9 this evening, so you got about a little over an hour to get there. Anyone who gets there before 11 p.m. won't have to pay cover. After 11, it's $10 to get in. In 60 seconds, we'll have your weekend business report. City News Time is 7:55.
Thinking of selling or buying a home? Visit modernsolution.ca and save money. Don't pay a hefty commission of 5 or 4% when selling your home. Modern Solution Realty provides full service for total 2% commission. 1% for seller agent, 1% for buyer agent. Just total 2%. 1% for each agent. Planning on buying a home? Now get $5,000. Yes, $5,000 to use for a down payment or spend as you wish. Visit modernsolution.ca to learn more.
These might be the coldest days of the year, but this is the hottest sale of the year. On now at Arrow Furniture, save the taxes on everything in store, or take up to 2 years to pay. Now's your chance to get the furniture you want at the best price. Save the taxes or take up to 2 years to pay. For a limited time only at all 4 GTA locations. Conditions apply. Visit arrowfurniture.com. That's arrowfurniture.com.
City News Time 7:56 now. Time for the weekend business report.
I'm Mike Emmel. Interest rates went up again this past week. The U.S. Fed, the Eurozone, Central Bank, the UK, they were all raising rates and warning rates likely have further declined to cool inflation. But for investors, 2023 has been a huge year already for tech stocks, dismissing concerns that had crushed the tech heavyweights last year. Analysts are describing it as a case of FOMO, fear of missing out, as stocks rise. Retail investors putting cash into this market at a pace not seen since the Reddit rally of 2021. Jeff Phipps is a portfolio manager and trading strategist with Picton Mahoney Asset Management.
When you look at a number of lower quality names and more speculative parts of the market outperform, it's generally associated with more active asset managers such as hedge funds repositioning across the shorts that they have in their books, as well as retail. Retail has been a pretty important force in January so far, looking at participation in the market. Cohorts within that group do prefer some of these more speculative parts of the market.
U.S. Federal Reserve Chair Jay Powell literally told the market this week he's going to be raising interest rates at least once, maybe twice more, a warning that was dismissed until Friday when the U.S. labor market stats for January came in much stronger than forecast. He's only reinforced the idea that the U.S. Federal Reserve officials will be issuing new warnings over the next few weeks.
There are opportunities over coming days and weeks for Fed governors to walk back any perceived misinterpretation of Powell's comments. I think the more important question right now is if the markets will listen.
Jeff Phipps, portfolio manager, trading strategist, Picton Mahoney Asset Management. The only central bank so far to signal it's moving to the sidelines on interest rates in the near term is the Bank of Canada. But it too says it's data dependent. The big number due this week, the jobs report for January, due Friday morning. At the City News Business Center, I'm Mike Upper.
This is City News 680.
Introducing the new Lotto 649 with 2 jackpots on every ticket. The classic $5 million jackpot and the growing gold ball jackpot of $24 million. Play the new Lotto 649 for a chance to win the classic jackpot or the gold ball jackpot of either $24 million or the guaranteed $1 million prize. Find your possible. Buy in store today or at olg.ca. Whenever you've needed us, federal public service workers have been here for Canada. We delivered the services you rely on through this crisis and the next. But for nearly 2 years, we've been on the front lines without a contract. That's a big problem because while the government stalls on making things right, we all pay the price. Workers can't wait. None of us can. Learn more at workerscan'twait.ca. A message from the Public Service Alliance of Canada. This is City News 680.
Looking at some of your regional weather conditions, in Oakville it is -5, Milton -5, partly cloudy, Brampton -5 as well, partly cloudy. If you're in Richmond Hill, it's cold, -6, partly cloudy there as well. And then in downtown Toronto, -3, it feels like -11, a few clouds in the sky. The news watch never stops. Watch, listen, connect at citynews.ca. City News 680 is CFTRAM Toronto, and at the sound of the tone, it will be City News time, 8 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 680, everywhere.
It's Saturday, February 4th. Good evening, I'm Sophia Vavarutsos.
And I'm Mike Davey. Here's what's making news at this hour.
Will they stay or will they go? An injunction hearing is wrapped up, and now we're waiting to hear if historic trees at Osgood Hall will be torn down for a new subway line.
Okay, it's happening. Everybody stay calm. What's the procedure, everyone? What's the procedure?
It's happening. Toronto is set to host the next NHL All-Star Weekend for the first time in almost 25 years.
In Durham, 2 people have been found dead by police in Bowmanville, launching an investigation.
And in the United States, authorities have downed a suspected spy balloon and are examining the remnants of the aircraft from China.
NHL All-Star Game festivities continue, and Canadian Bianca Andreescu forced to retire at the Thailand Open. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, we're 1 month into 2023. So how are those New Year's resolutions going? An executive coach offers some tips on how to tune up your objectives.
City News time, 8:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Colette Desjardins.
Thanks, and this report is brought to you by ADP. Well, we still have problems on the eastbound 401. It is approaching Redford in the express. We have the 2 right lanes blocked. Looks as though, still 2 right lanes. So the backup right now is from approaching Dixie transfers from Collectors to Express. If you're traveling on the southbound Don Valley Parkway, it was busy off and on from south of 401 down to south of Lawrence, but it is starting to ease off. We had some problems on the westbound Gardner approaching Spadina. The left lane was blocked, all because of a stalled vehicle. The backup from approaching York, so we still have some, it's cleared. We still have some residual volume from approaching York. And if you're on the eastbound Gardner, looking good into the downtown core. Businesses need to think beyond today, and that's why ADP uses data-driven insights to design benefits and payroll solutions to help your business find more success tomorrow. Visit adp.ca. Your next report is at 8:11 with the forecast. Here is Alistair Alders.
Well, temperatures will be on the rise tonight. We'll have mainly cloudy skies and a chance of flurries. That temperature will be near the freezing mark overnight tonight, and then 4 degrees is the high on Sunday. Mainly cloudy skies and a weak disturbance will be moving in, so that means we'll have some late afternoon to evening rain showers. Could mix with a few wet flurries, especially outside of the city. Temperatures tonight rising to 0.
Right now, downtown Toronto, -3. Feels like -11, a few clouds. City News Time, 8:03.
Metrolinx temporarily shut down construction at Osgoode Hall today to partake in an injunction hearing from the Law Society of Ontario, which hoped to prevent the trees from being cut down.
The results from that are expected sometime tonight or tomorrow morning at the latest. City's James Mackin has more.
Liz Driver, the interim chair of the Build the Ontario Line Differently Community Coalition, tells me that Metrolinx initially attempted to cut them down without respect for the court process.
The irony of it, the court is going to be hearing this injunction at Osgoode Hall, I believe, right where they're cutting the trees down.
The reason why Metrolinx has been cutting down these trees is for construction of the Ontario subway line, but Councillor Josh Matlow tells me there is another option to safely build the subway here.
Receive the median in the middle of University Avenue, slightly further north, and then expand the sidewalk so that there can be room for a station box on University Avenue itself. That would also leave us with expanded public space.
Metrolinx says in a statement that following hearing, they look forward to proceeding to getting this critical transit line built. James Mackin, City News.
City News Time, 8:04. Bring your autograph gear to Eaton Centre, Ripley's Aquarium next February, because there's a good chance that a hockey superstar will be hanging around. Toronto will host the 2024 NHL All-Star Weekend, as our Mike Leach reports.
The All-Stars are coming to town next year. NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman with the announcement prior to this year's event down in Florida. The last time this city hosted a major All-Star Weekend was the NBA All-Star Game in 2016. That was a massive success with one of the best dunk contests ever. The Leafs' Mitch Marner expects this to be next level.
Getting all the best players in the world at the same place at one time. Just seeing how the NBA All-Star Game was, I'm sure the NHL one's going to be even bigger, so the fans are going to love it. It's going to be a fun time.
The 2024 NHL Midseason Showcase will be the first played in Toronto since the year 2000, and only the second time in the NHL's expansion era. Mike Leach, City News.
You're listening to City News 680. Durham police are at the scene of a sudden death investigation near Middle Road in William Fair Drive in Bowmanville. Officers say the call came in around 2:15 in the afternoon, and you can expect a heavy police presence in the area. 2 people were found dead. There's no further details on the incident or how they died, but stay tuned to City News 680 for the latest on this developing story.
This is City News 680. Toronto police have arrested a 56-year-old man in what they're saying is a historical child sexual assault and child sexual abuse investigation. John Moyer is alleged to have sexually assaulted a boy in Toronto between 2011 and 2013. And officers say further investigation has revealed that the accused has had contact with children dating back to 2004. He's facing multiple charges, including 8 counts of sexual interference and possession of child pornography. Investigators say there could be unreported crimes and are asking anyone with information to reach out.
Mart Stiles has been confirmed as the new leader of the Ontario NDP by majority vote. During an event at Metro Toronto Convention Centre, Stiles vowed to beat out Premier Ford's progressive conservative government.
Today, we start the countdown to the end of Doug Ford's disastrous government and the beginning of a bright new future for Ontario.
Stiles, who has been a New Democrat member of provincial parliament since 2018, was the only person to run for the leadership. She represents the Davenport riding, served for years as the party's education critic, and has previously been a school trustee and president of the federal NDP.
This is City News 680 at 8:07. We have an update now on a story we've been covering all evening. The Chinese government has just responded to the United States shooting down a suspected spy balloon China says the United States shooting down the balloon is a serious violation of international practice and is threatening repercussions. The United States government is now analyzing debris that can be collected from the balloon.
Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin says U.S. military aircraft brought down the Chinese balloon over the Atlantic. Once the airspace was cleared, adding it was too risky to shoot it down over land. President Biden had authorized the operation Wednesday. Ships were deployed, hoping to scoop up as much debris as possible before it sank into the ocean. China claimed the balloon was for weather research, something the Pentagon has refuted. Former CIA analyst Gail Helt says it looks to her like a fishing expedition by China.
Better and more broad coverage than their spy satellites can, and they can also test how the United States is going to react.
The controversy prompted the U.S. to cancel a weekend trip to Beijing by the Secretary of State. I'm Jackie Quinn.
Justin Trudeau tweeted his support of the move to shoot down the balloon, saying Canada will continue to work with the United States on security and defense.
City News Time 8:08. Frigid temperatures continue today, although Environment Canada has dropped its cold weather alert for the GTA and the rest of southern Ontario. Today's City News guaranteed high is -4, but it's feeling near -15 with the wind chill. Our weather specialist Alistair Alders says temperatures are changing through the weekend.
Temperatures are on the rise. We'll be above freezing by this time tomorrow. Actually see some rain showers mixing back into the forecast, and temperatures will remain above normal as we go through early next week. The high on Tuesday right now looking set to be near 6 degrees.
Tomorrow we can expect a mix of rain and snow as temperatures reach above the freezing mark. Light snow is expected this evening.
Coming up next, the City News gas price update.
City News Time 8:09.
This is City News 680.
This portion of the news is brought to you by 123 Dentist. Are you looking for a local dentist? Then visit 123dentist.com. Our website makes it quick and easy to find the right dental clinic near you with the hours, services, even languages you choose. With over 50 dental offices in and around the GTHA, we're conveniently located near parking and transit. Emergency dental services are available too, as well as specialists like orthodontists, oral surgeons, children's specialists, and periodontists. So visit 123dentist.com today and find your dentist.
Now the City News gas price update. Enpro predicts that the price will drop 5 cents at midnight to $1.40.9 a liter at most GTA stations. Coming up next, traffic and weather together on the One. City News Time 8:10.
Israel Bonds offer strong fixed rates and with semi-annual payments. Hi, I'm Raquel Benzakar-Savadi, CEO of Israel Bonds in Canada. Discover the value of adding Israel Bonds to your RSP. Simply put, when you buy Israel Bonds, you're investing directly in the state of Israel. Rates as high as 4.64%. Call today, 416-789-3351, or visit israelbonds.ca. Israel Bonds are sold in Canada by Canada Israel Securities Limited, a registered exempt market dealer. Conditions apply.
All right, guys, it's been a blast, but I gotta head out. Hey, Julie, do you need a ride?
Thanks, John, but there's a reason I'm not driving, and I don't think you should be either.
Yeah, if she wanted to ride with someone who'd been drinking, she'd drive herself.
John, my sister's coming to get me. We'll drop you off.
When a drinking driver crashes, passengers in the vehicle share the same fate. In a 2010 poll, more than 85% of Canadians said they don't ride with a drinking driver. Speak your mind. ChangeTheConversation.ca.
City News Time 8:11. Time for traffic and weather together on the Ones. Here's Colette Desjardins.
And this report is brought to you by TMS Clinics. So right now, if you're on the eastbound 401, approaching Dixie and the Collectors, we've got the right lane blocked with a stall vehicle. Emergency crews are on the scene. And then approaching Renfort in the Express, the right lane is blocked with a collision. Traffic is getting by. Emergency crews, of course, still on the scene. Southbound on the Don Valley Parkway. Just had to sneeze. Southbound on the Don Valley Parkway, busy south of the 401 down to south of Lawrence. And if you're on the westbound Gardner, approaching Spadina, problems have been cleared. It looks as though volume from York has improved. Did you know that 1 in 5 Canadians struggle with their mental health? Discover how TMS Clinics of Canada can help you or a loved one. For a free consultation, visit tmsofcanada.com. Your next report, 8:21. With the forecast, here is Alistair Alders.
Well, temperatures have been climbing all day and will continue to do so tonight. We'll have mainly cloudy skies and a chance of flurries. But the temperature rises to 0 overnight tonight and then 4 degrees on Sunday with mainly cloudy skies. Do watch out for some late afternoon to evening showers that could mix with a few wet flurries, but it's not significant. And then sunshine returns on Monday and temperatures still above normal, the high 1 degree. Tonight, temperatures rising to the freezing mark.
And in the city right now, it is partly cloudy. It's -3, feeling like -11. Similar conditions over at Pearson Airport, where it is -5, feeling like -10. City News Time, 8:12. Members of the Internationally Trained Dentists Association of Canada will gather at Yonge Dundas Square for a rally tomorrow. Dr. Lucas Salvador tells the president of the ITDAC that thousands of immigrant dentists are prevented by the National Examining Board of Canada from working as dentists in a reasonable and timely manner. He adds the process can take 3 to 5 years and costs sometimes over $12,000 in examination fees. According to the Canadian Occupational Projection System, there will be a shortage of 6,000 dentists in Canada by 2028. The group says it has proposed no-cost solutions that would ease the process for internationally trained dentists and help fill future gaps. The rally gets underway tomorrow morning at 11 a.m. Coming up next, we'll have a look at today's top stories and sports with Brandon DuPont. This is City News 680.
Calling all brides. Mega Wedding Expo is the place to find everything you need for your perfect day. But nothing's perfect, especially if your fiance's car breaks down en route to your perfect venue.
Bride here. With the Intact Insurance app, you can add roadside assistance, so whatever happens, he's gonna make it, and it's gonna be a perfect day.
Okay, when things aren't perfect, Intact Insurance makes it better.
Perfect.
Just make it Intact. Visit intact.ca or talk to your broker. Conditions apply.
Get a fresh start today at TSC with amazing savings on top brands and products. Save up to 20% on beauty with brands you love like Clinique and L'Occitane. And shop great offers on health tech from Apple and more. Now until February 14th. Turn big purchases into small payments with interest-free easy pay on everything you need to reach your goals. Shop now at tsc.ca. Today's shopping choice.
Toronto's news. Now, this is City News 680. Everywhere.
It's partly cloudy, -3, feeling like -10 right now in the city. Good evening, I'm Sophia Vavarutsos. Here are the top stories this hour. An injunction hearing into Metrolinx's plan to cut down trees at Osgoode Hall has wrapped up. Now both parties are waiting to hear the results. We're learning this could come tonight or tomorrow morning. Toronto will host the 2024 NHL All-Star event, bringing it back to the city for the first time in almost 25 years. And in Durham, 2 people are dead in what police say is a sudden death investigation happening in Bowenville. And coming up after sports, today marks the launch of the 2023 5K Swab Challenge. City News Time, 8:15. Time for sports from Sportsnet 590. The Fan. Here's Brandon DuPont.
Thanks a lot, Sophia. And after seeing all your favorite current NHLers show their skills yesterday, today they went one-on-one in some good old-fashioned 3-on-3 hockey, representing their respective divisions. In the semis, the Central Division beat the Pacific, and in the other matchup, the Atlantic came from behind to beat the Metropolitan, setting up a final between the Atlantic, including Leafs Mitch Marner, against the Central. In the final, Red Wings' Dylan Larkin was arguably the brightest star, scoring a hat-trick, and a notable mention to, of course, Marner, who picked up 3 assists, helping the Atlantic to a 7-5 win. With the victory, the Atlantic Division now skates away with a split pot of $1 million. And speaking of the All-Star Game, it will be coming right back to the home and native land once again as Toronto will host the 2024 edition. The announcement was made earlier in the day from League Commissioner Gary Bettman. And if that didn't suppress your appetite for hockey, there's some Canadian teams in action in the AHL. Right here in the city at Coca-Cola Coliseum, the Toronto Marlies, they lost heavily to Montreal affiliate the Laval Rockets 7-3. The Abbotsford Canucks, they went 3-2 over the San Jose Barracuda on the road. And right now, the Manitoba Moose find themselves in front of the Milwaukee Admirals in the state of Wisconsin. And from the ice to the tennis court at the semis of the Thailand Open, Mississauga, Ontario native Bianca Andreescu had to retire in the second set of her match against Ukraine's Lesia Surenko due to a shoulder injury. She lost the first set and was trailing in the second before retiring. Sports at 15 and 45 past every hour or anytime at sportsnet.ca.
Changes being made to your job. 3 key facts you must know with Lior Samfiru from employmentlawyer.ca.
Number 1, it is illegal for your employer to make significant changes to your pay, job duties, hours of work, even a temporary layoff. Fact number 2, if you don't protest the change in writing, you will be seen to have accepted it. Finally, when your employer makes these changes, they're essentially terminating your employment and you're owed your full severance, as much as 24 months' pay. I can help you get the severance package you're owed. My team has helped tens of thousands of employees pursue their constructive dismissal cases when changes were made to their job. Before you accept any change or put in protest, contact me and discover why my employment law firm is the most positively reviewed firm in Canada.
Contact employment lawyer Lior Samfiru today. Get the advice you need and the compensation you deserve. Visit employmentlawyer.ca. That's employmentlawyer.ca.
This is City News 680. Today marks the launch of the 2023 5K Swab Challenge, an event to encourage more Black stem cell donors. Marie Gomez joins us with the reason for the initiative.
The Canadian nonprofit Donor Drive for Dorothy says only 2% of Black adults make up the stem cell registry. That's compared to roughly 66% who are Caucasian. This leading to a call for more Black stem cell donors, as patients are more likely to find a match with someone from the same ethnic background. With the organization's 5K Swab Challenge, the goal is to register 5,000 Black donors by the end of the year. It's gearing its focus on men and women aged 17 to 35. Eligibility requirements for stem cell donations can be found at blood.ca. Marie Gomez, City News.
City News Time, 8:19. Pope Francis has declared that the future of South Sudan depends on how the country treats its women.
On a visit to the world's newest nation, the Pope highlighted the plight of women in the country, asking all its citizens to protect, respect, appreciate and honour every South Sudanese woman, from grandmothers to young girls. Sister Orla Tracy, who runs a secondary school for girls, told the AP young girls in the country often miss out on an education.
About 10% of 15-year-old girls are getting married. So getting a girl into school, it was impossible. It has become possible. And today you'll be some of the girls who have really achieved and broken through. It's changing, but it's still a big push for girls.
South Sudan is also a country which is rampant with sexual violence and is the world's highest maternal mortality rates.
The Local Together coming up next. City News Time, 8:20.
If you've been longing to take your driving experience to a new level of luxury, the team at Mercedes-Benz New Market is here to help. Come in during our winter demo
visit agmrenovations.com. Your next report is coming up at 8:31. Let's get the forecast, and here is Alistair Alters.
Well, after a bitter start to the day, temperatures continue to rise and we will be above seasonal as we head into early next week. The temperature rises to the freezing mark overnight tonight. We'll have mainly cloudy skies, and do watch out for a chance of flurries this evening. And then tomorrow, mainly cloudy with some late afternoon to evening. Temperatures climb up to 6 degrees. Our temperature this evening climbing to 0.
And it is slowly getting warmer in the city. Right now it's -2, a few clouds in the sky, feeling like -9. At Pearson Airport, -4, feeling like -9. Coming up at 8:30, we'll have the latest on an injunction hearing over Metrolinx's expected construction for the Ontario line, and we'll have the latest on if we've learned the results from that. City News Time, 8:23.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep. At first, I thought it was my partner snoring, but then I talked to the pillow professors, and now I can't get out of bed.
We interrupt this commercial message to bring you another more important commercial message.
The RRSP contribution deadline is March 1st. Your local Edward Jones...
It's the oldest theater organization in the United States and one of the oldest in the world. The award has been given to women since 1951 for making lasting impressions on the world of entertainment. Coolidge led a parade in Massachusetts today wearing a leopard print coat and fluffy pink hat. Previous winners of the award include Meryl Streep and Debbie Reynolds. This year's Man of the Year is Bob Odenkirk, best known as shady lawyer Saul Goodman on Better Call Saul. This is City News 680. A new documentary about Much Music will reportedly debut at South by Southwest Film Festival this spring.
Much Music, Canada's first all-music network. Much Music, in stereo 24 hours a day.
Canadian writer, actor, and TV host Erica M. says she has been quietly working as a consulting producer on the film. An Instagram post from M says the documentary is called 299 Queen Street West, the address of the building where the channel is housed, and will have its world premiere at the festival in March. The film festival's website says the doc is 118 minutes long and tells the story of the Canadian TV channel from the perspective of the video journalists. The festival runs from March 10th to 18th in Austin, Texas. The business report is up next. City News Time, 8:25.
This portion of the news is brought to you by the Herzig Eye Institute.
Hi, I'm Cherry Tab, co-founder of the Herzig Eye Institute. Did you know that wanting to play their favorite sports better is the #1 reason people have their vision corrected? Let our team of world-class surgeons help you improve your golf, your tennis, and yes, your hockey. See if one of our high-definition vision procedures is right for you. Google Herzig Eye Institute. Call us for a consultation. There's no charge. Look after yourself. Promise me.
Now is the time to stream more Maple Leafs down the stretch drive.
Centers in front. Matthews scores.
Get thousands of out-of-market NHL games, the Stanley Cup playoffs, and more with a new Sportsnet Now Premium 6-month pass.
Here's Rodriguez. Chris Rodriguez scores. It's a beauty.
And with Blue Jays baseball in sight, now is the time to score the best value deal available. Subscribe to
to the why behind our resolutions. Why are we having that resolution? And further to that, we're looking at, is this an avoidance goal that we've had for ourselves, or is this an approach goal? Now, if it's an avoidance goal, that means that what we're saying to ourselves is, oh, we're going to stop watching so much TV. Well, right away, that puts a negative connotation in our minds. And so instead of saying we're going to stop watching TV, what we should be doing is saying, I'm going to start to read 10 pages of a book every single night. Well, what does that do? It clearly takes you off the couch, in front of the TV, and puts a book in your hand, and it is a more positive. So it's more like an approach goal. We're going to approach this in a positive way. So if we reset our minds to think that way, to think that, okay, so how can I add a positive habit rather than taking something away? Because we're greedy little individuals as humans, right? We don't want that to be taken away from us. We want to be able to add things to our lives. So those are 2 points. Understand the why behind your goals. If your why is strong enough, you should be pursuing it with the plan, of course, and accountabilities. But again, is it a negative avoidance goal, or is it a positive approach goal?
Jill Sinclair is an executive coach, speaker, and author. Look for The Jill Sinclair Show on Apple, Spotify, or wherever you download your podcasts. In the Business Center, I'm John Ackerman.
Have you heard about Cholesterol from Healthology? Cholesterol is a natural health product that not only helps lower cholesterol, but also helps to maintain and support your cardiovascular health. Cholesterol can be found at your local health food store or visit myhealthology.ca for more information. This product may not be right for you. Always read and follow the label.
Only a few days left to live and listen to the magic of an Air France rendezvous. It's time to book your rendezvous with Nice, starting at $840, or Athens, starting at $855 return. From Toronto, tax included. Enjoy a glass of champagne however you fly, economy included. Elegance is a journey. Air France. Book by February the 7th and travel until June the 18th, or from September the 18th to December the 10th, 2023. See conditions at airfrance.ca.
City News Time, 8:30.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 680, everywhere.
Good evening. This is Saturday, February 4th. I'm Mike Davey.
And I'm Sophia Vaporutzos. Here's what's making news this hour.
Good news for hockey fans in the city. The NHL All-Star Weekend will be headed to Toronto in 2024.
The trees at Osgood Hall have been there for roughly 2 centuries, but Metrolinx could be tearing them down this weekend for construction of the Ontario subway line.
2 people are dead in Bowmanville, and the homicide unit has now taken over the investigation. Still no word on how they died.
The 65th Annual Grammy Award Show is back tomorrow night with star-studded performances and a historic moment for Beyonce.
The Atlantic Division wins the NHL All-Star crown for the first time ever, and drama in Brooklyn surrounding Kyrie Irving. Sports at 45.
And coming up in business, homeowners are well positioned to ride out an economic storm despite higher inflation and rising interest rates. And that's a good thing for the Canadian economy.
City News Time, 8:31.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Colette Desjardins.
This report is brought to you by Don Valley North Toyota. If you're on Highway 6 South, the ramp to eastbound 403, we've got a collision in the left lane, and emergency crews are on the scene. A number of issues on the eastbound 401 at Dixie and the Collectors. The right lane is blocked with a stalled vehicle, and then approaching Redforth in the Express, we've got the right lane partially blocked by emergency crews that were tending to a collision earlier. And then on the eastbound 401, the ramp to Yonge, the left lane is blocked with a disabled vehicle. A tow truck has just pulled up on the scene. Don Valley North Toyota is a state-of-the-art automotive experience. Visit the showroom or go online anytime at DonValleyNorthToyota.com, a division of Wayne's Auto Group. Your next report is coming up at 8:41. Let's get the forecast. Alistair Alders.
The temperature rises to 0. 0 overnight tonight. We'll have mainly cloudy skies, and there will be a chance of flurries this evening. And mainly cloudy on Sunday, and a disturbance will be moving in with some rain showers that could mix with a few wet flurries. 4 degrees the high on our Sunday. Temperatures tonight rising to 0.
In the city right now, it's partly cloudy, -2, feeling like -9. And at Pearson Airport, similar conditions. City News Time, 8:33.
An injunction hearing between the Law Society of Ontario and Metrolinx has wrapped up, and now the justice overseeing it is reviewing the case.
City's James Mackin reports the results from this hearing could lead to up to 200-year-old trees at Osgoode Hall getting torn down this weekend for the construction of a subway line.
Liz Driver, the interim chair of the Build the Ontario Line Differently Community Coalition, says Metrolinx has been disrespectful of not just the court system, but the citizens of Toronto.
You know, the federal and the provincial government should know now and see what kind of a provincial agency this Metrolinx is. The communities have been feeling it all along the Ontario line.
I spoke to City Councillor Josh Matlow, who echoed that sentiment, adding this is nothing new for Metrolinx, following the decade-long construction of the Eglinton Crosstown LRT, which still hasn't finished.
Residents and small businesses, including Little Jamaica, have been treated like collateral damage by Metrolinx. Rather than working with people, they work at people. That's not how a public agency should behave.
Both Councillor Matlow and Driver say the Provincial Transit Agency needs to listen to the public more for future consultations, especially with the worry that the Ontario line could be a repeat of the still unfinished Eglinton line. James Mackin, City News.
City News Time, 8:34. An NHL homecoming is expected next year. Toronto will host the NHL All-Star Weekend for the first time in almost 24 years. City's Mike Leach has the details of today's announcement.
NHL Commissioner Gary Bettman spilling the beans on Saturday afternoon in Florida.
In 2024, the Honda NHL All-Star Weekend will be played for the 9th time in Toronto.
That's right. For the first time since the year 2000, the NHL All-Stars will shine the brightest here in the city at Scotiabank Arena. Leafs president Brendan Shanahan played in that game 23 years ago. He is thrilled to have the best players on the planet coming back to the epicenter of hockey.
In Toronto, we're really excited to welcome hockey fans from all around the world and the best players in the league.
So now we need some TO-themed skills events, maybe the tower target shoot. Players try to score into a net on the ground from on top of the CN Tower. Just a thought. Mike Leach, City News.
This is City News 680. China's government is condemning the United States' move to down a suspected Chinese spy balloon off the Carolina coast. The Chinese government insists it was a civilian weather balloon that drifted off course and that shooting down the balloon violates international norms. The country's Minister of Foreign Affairs tells state media that China will be taking further action in response. The balloon reportedly crossed into sensitive military sites across North America, including restricted areas in the United States. Retired U.S. Marine Colonel Stephen Gaynard says an operation is underway now to gather debris from the balloon.
They're going to be looking for the payload. The balloon's been taken care of. It's no longer a factor. But what they're going to look for is the payload that was attached underneath. We saw at least 16 solar panels that would have been powering the sensors that the U.S. believes was beaming data back to China. So you can be sure there's U.S. Navy and Coast Guard ships down below in the ocean waiting for that impact of that payload to start looking for the pieces to put that together to figure out what the Chinese were doing with this balloon over the U.S.
The balloon was estimated to be about the size of 3 school buses.
City News Time, 8:36. Durham Regional Police say they've found 2 bodies at a home on Crombie Road in Bowmanville. Officers were called to the Middle Road and William Fair Drive area this afternoon around 2:15. They say the original call was for a wellness check called in by someone the family living in the home knew. There are no details on the ages or relationship of the people found inside the home. The homicide unit is taking over the investigation, but there's no word on how they died. Anyone with information or footage is asked to reach out to police.
City News Time, 8:37. A 56-year-old man from Toronto is facing multiple charges in connection with a decades-old sexual assault case. Officers say they arrested John Moyer, who was charged with 8 counts of sexual interference along with other offenses. The alleged incidents happened from 2011 to 2013 when a man reportedly assaulted a boy at a home in the city, but officers say
형님 쉬는데 전화드린가요? 모르겠습니다. 잘 지내시지? 다름이 아니고 좀 김에 2월달에 언제 확정될까 싶어가지고 이야기가 좀 제네시스 같은 경우에 막 이제 보조금만 되면 차 작년에 계약한 사람들 나오는 게 나오고 이런 이야기가 들리사서 취소가 많다 하대. 그래서 준비를 지금 오늘 좀 해놔야 되나 어째야 되나 궁금하기도 하고.
since 2018, was the only person to run for the leadership. Speaking at the Leadership Summit, Stiles says her focus will be on defeating Premier Doug Ford in the next provincial election in 2026.
Today, we start the countdown to the end of Doug Ford's disastrous government and the beginning of a bright new future for Ontario.
The party confirmed Stiles through a leadership vote at the event, making her the leader of the official opposition in the legislature. Still to come on City News 680, we'll take a look at your top headlines and sports. City News Time 8:43.
Now is the time to see the spellbinding hit Toronto critics are raving about. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child. It's genuinely astounding, declares the Globe and Mail. A masterpiece, cheers the CBC. An experience that will blow your mind, says the Toronto Star. Harry Potter and the Cursed Child at the CAA at Mirvish Theatre. Book at mirvish.com.
Are you a young, novice, or commercial driver? In Ontario, these drivers have a zero blood alcohol concentration condition on their license and cannot have any alcohol or drugs in their system when behind the wheel. Impaired drivers face serious consequences and criminal charges, including loss of license, fines, and even jail time. Plan ahead for a safe ride home, and always drive sober. Keep your license, keep your money, and help keep our roads safe. A message from the beer store and Arrive Alive Drive Sober.
Toronto's news. Now, this is City News 680. Everywhere.
It's -3 in downtown Toronto. Feels like -10. A few clouds. Good evening. I'm Mike Davey. Here are the top stories this hour. We are waiting for a verdict to determine the future of historical trees on Osgood Hall. Metrolinx plans to knock them down to make room for the Ontario line. In Bowmanville, the death of 2 people has the homicide unit taking over the investigation. There's no word on how they died. And the NHL All-Star Weekend will be coming to Toronto in 2024. The announcement was made today by Commissioner Gary Bettman. City News Time 8:45, which means it's time for sports. And from Sportsnet 590 The Fan, here's Brandon DePont.
Thanks a lot, Mike. And the NHL All-Star Game, yes, it was today, but before that mini NHL All-Star Game tourney got going, Commissioner Gary Bettman confirmed that the Toronto Maple Leafs will be hosting next year's mid-season classic. It will be Toronto's first time hosting since 2000. Now to today's All-Star Game festivities in the semis. The Central beat the Pacific Division 6-4. Then the Atlantic got the best of the Metropolitan in a goal fest where 16 goals were scored. They got that one 10-6 over the Metropolitan. And in the final, it would be the Atlantic coming away once again with the $1 million prize as they comfortably beat the Central Division 7-5, getting their first win ever in this new format. Florida Panthers winner Matthew Tkachuk, and of course fan favorite amongst the Sunrise Florida faithful, was named All-Star Game MVP, scoring once and setting up another in the title game after his 3 goals and 2 assists in the semifinal. And now to the hardcourt in the NBA. The Raptors, they are off today. They will return to action tomorrow when they visit the Memphis Grizzlies in the last leg of their long road trip. However, around the league, there's 9 games on the schedule today, including the Wizards and Nets. Also notable news in this one, as Nets star Kyrie Irving was out due to calf soreness. This coming one day after he made a trade request out of Brooklyn. When he appeared on the Barclays Center Jumbotron as the injuries were announced before the game, Nets faithful, they let him hear it. Although it didn't seem to affect the Nets too much as they win by 2. Elsewhere, the LA Lakers lose to the New Orleans Pelicans, but LeBron scored 27 and is now only 36 points away from passing the all-time points record currently held by Kareem Abdul-Jabbar. Sports at 15 and 45 pass every hour or anytime at sports.ca.
License number 10530. Do you have a high interest rate, first or second mortgage with a trust company, private lender, credit union, or bank? Call Anton. Do you want to refinance your home to pay down high interest rate debts? Call Anton. Are you self-employed or having credit challenges? Call Anton. Anton Darmasilan, mortgage agent with Mortgage Alliance, can assist you. Call 647-40-ANTON. He's available until midnight every day, including weekends and holidays. That's 647-40-ANTON. Or visit AntonMortgage.com.
Do you have unfiled tax taxes? Are you overwhelmed and stressed? Boxes of paper, lost documents, disorganized, confused, don't know where to start? We do. Call Mark Feldstein Chartered Professional Accountants. We deal with this every day. It's never too late. Start sleeping at night. Call Mark Feldstein Chartered Professional Accountants now, or visit markfeldstein.ca. markfeldstein.ca.
City News Time 8:48. Canada is the latest G7 nation to announce it's expanding caps on Russian oil.
Finance Minister Chrystia Freeland says the maximum price for seaborne Russian origin petroleum will be $100 US per barrel for a premium to crude products as of Sunday, and $45 US for discount to crude products. The new caps build on a Russian crude oil price limit announced in December that are intended to weaken President Vladimir Putin's ability to fund the war against Ukraine. The Finance Department says the caps are designed to reduce Russian revenues while recognizing the importance of stable energy markets and minimizing negative economic effects. Brenda Molina Navidad, The Canadian Press.
Stateside, a massive train derailment is causing chaos. 50 cars derailed last night near East Palestine, Ohio, and are still on fire now. The heavy smoke is leading local authorities to send out an evacuation order, a declaration of a state of emergency near the Pennsylvania state line. There are no injuries or damage to structure being reported so far, but 20 of the train's 100 cars were carrying hazardous materials. Still to come on City News 680, we'll take a look at your drive with Colette, and Alistair Alders will have your forecast. City News Time 8:50.
Forecast calling for volatility. Outlast the storm with Skyline Investments. Skyline Clean Energy Fund is an equity growth investment that offers tax efficiency and historically stable returns. Help transform Canada's clean energy sector and build a positive legacy for generations to come. 1 year annualized return of 10%. Contact us today at skylinewealth.ca/volatility. Skyline Wealth Management Inc. is an exempt market dealer. Products are not guaranteed and investor qualifications apply. Past performance may not be repeated. Standard performance returns at skylinewealth.ca/volatility.
The polar vortex is coming. We need a new furnace.
I'm calling Atlas Care. All our neighbors use Atlas Care, and they're Google guaranteed.
For a limited time, Atlas Care Heating and Air Conditioning is offering last year's pricing. Save up to $3,000 in instant rebates on a new system. Plus, don't pay for 12 months with 0 down and 0% interest. Same day and next day appointments available. Hurry, this limited offer ends February 15th. Google Atlas Care today and let the pros in the green trucks save you big bucks.
City News Time 8:51. Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here is Colette Desjardins.
And this report is brought to you by City News. Eastbound 401, problems at Dixie. Collectors have cleared. And then approaching Redford in the Express, that is cleared as well. We still have problems, however, on the ramp for eastbound 401 to Yonge. The left lane is blocked. Emergency crews are on the scene. If you're northbound 400, a crash at Highway 7 in the Express. 2 left lanes are blocked. Emergency crews are there, causing a bit of a backup at the moment. And the rest of the highway is all in pretty good shape right now. When you need Toronto news, City News is everywhere. Watch on City TV, listen to City News 680, or connect at citynews.ca. City News everywhere. Your next report is at 9:01. Let's get the forecast, and here is Alistair Alders.
Well, instead of falling, our temperatures will be on the rise tonight. We'll be near 0 overnight. We'll have mainly cloudy skies and watch out for a chance of flurries. Then tomorrow, mainly cloudy, and watch for some late afternoon to evening rain showers that could mix with a few wet flurries. Overall, not a huge concern, but just something to keep in mind. 4 degrees in the high Sunday. 1 on Monday with mainly sunny skies, and some rain returns to the forecast on Tuesday with a high of 6 degrees. So overall, this above seasonal trend will be continuing early next week. Temperatures tonight rising up to the freezing mark.
Right now in downtown Toronto, temperatures rather slowly starting to climb. -2 feels like -9. A few clouds coming up at 9 o'clock. The homicide unit is taking over an investigation involving 2 dead people in Bowmanville. NHL All-Star Weekend is coming to town next year, and we are awaiting the verdict to determine the future of historical trees at Osgood Hall. City News Time 8:53.
Are high interest rates scaring you from getting into the housing market? Don't be scared. Call Northwood Mortgage. The
of Advocacy, Stephen Piazza, explains how you can make a difference.
We're inviting people to partner with us to advocate for better care by sending Get Better cards to governments, calling for cancer care to get better. So you can go to cancer.ca/getbetter, fill out your card, we'll actually print it and deliver it to elected officials so that they hear directly from you.
A new survey from the Society has found 25% of patient respondents in Ontario had their cancer care appointments canceled or postponed in recent months. Still to come on City News 680, we will take a look at your weekend business report. City News time 8:54.
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Oh, hi. I'd like to apply for a loan so I can consolidate some of my debts.
Sure. Do you own your home?
Yes. But Carl, our resident ghost, keeps saying it's his house and we should get out.
Okay, but you are the registered owner.
Yes.
Then you're approved.
Hey, hear that, Carl? Huh?
Alpine Credits, where homeowners get approved.
Go to alpinecredits.ca to get started. Some conditions apply.
Visitor license 12616.
Are you looking for a trusted and experienced online high school where you can earn credits or upgrade your marks? Learn with Ontario Virtual School, Ontario's leading online provider with a 5-star Google rating. OVS has over 140 interactive grade 7 to 12 courses to choose from, including STEM, French immersion, and more. Sign up today, create your own timetable, and get access to their supportive teachers and counselors. See why over 25,000 students have chosen to learn with OVS. Visit OntarioVirtualSchool.ca.
Your news now on your radio,
On your television,
online, and on your smart speaker.
play City News Toronto.
Now, time for the weekend business report.
I'm Chris McCusker. Canadian homeowners are well positioned to ride out a potential economic storm, according to a new report from Remax Canada. Christopher Alexander is the president, and you're drawing this conclusion based on something called the loan-to-value ratio.
Loan-to-value ratio is the amount of equity you have in the home versus the amount of loan. So if you've got a low loan-to-value ratio, that means your mortgages just be small.
And when you look at this data point across most major Canadian cities, it looks good.
Canadians are in a very good position today than they were a decade ago. That to me is the biggest takeaway and the most surprising when you consider the current climate of inflation, rising interest rates, and caution in the marketplace right now.
So can we say here that Canadians are being responsible about paying off their mortgage?
That's a great way to sum it up. You know, the price gains that people have experienced over the last 10 years, coupled with responsible lending practices of the government or the big 5 banks and ultra low interest rates, allowing Canadians to pay down their mortgages month after month, have led to really low loan-to-value ratios.
And this is good for the Canadian economy overall.
We've already seen coming into this year, would-be sellers are putting the brakes on, and they're choosing not to list. The would like to move, or the speculation piece of the marketplace that is prevalent in any market, has moved to the sideline. So I'm certainly feeling very confident after reading this report, and I think a lot of people will too, because health is really what comes out of this when you're looking at the real estate market.
Christopher Alexander is the president at Remax Canada. And at the City News Business Center, I'm Chris McCusker.
This is City News 680. HGTV's Scott McGilvery here, and I've got some exciting news. The Home and Reno Show, presented by Remax, is on now until February 5th at the International Center. Get free renovation and design consultations and connect with over 200 vendors and experts, including me. Plus, it's 2 shows, 1 ticket. Entrance to the Backyard Living Expo is included with admission. Tickets and info at homeandrenoshow.com. Did I mention there's free parking? I'll see you there.
Now streaming on City TV Plus from executive producers Seth Rogen and Evan Goldberg and the director of Borat. Subscribe
It happened to me.
Paul T. Goldman, now streaming on City TV Plus, Prime Video channels.
Warming centers in the city of Toronto will remain open through the weekend after those very chilly temperatures over the last couple of days. The city says drop-ins are welcome at Scarborough Civic Center, Metro Hall, Mitchell Field Community Center, and Cecil Community Center. It has also asked staff at shelters and centers to not turn anyone away during this extreme cold weather. Over 400 spaces were added to the shelter system last night, in addition to the 9,000 currently offered. The city says downtown warming centers in Mitchell Field Community Center were at capacity last night, but the city says there is space at Scarborough Civic Center. Advocates continue to demand more access to warming centers and for its policies to be reviewed. Currently, centers open when temperatures drop below minus 15, and right now in downtown Toronto, it's minus 2, feeling like minus 9. A few clouds in the sky. City News Time, 9 o'clock.
Toronto's #1 for breaking news, traffic, and weather. This is City News 680 everywhere.
It's Saturday, February 4th. Good evening, I'm Sophia Vavarutsos.
And I'm Mike Davey. Here's what's making news this hour.
Metrolinx and the Mall Society of Ontario are eagerly awaiting the result of an injunction hearing, one which could save 200-year-old trees at Osgood Hall from being cut down.
China is responding after the United States shot down what is believed to be a Chinese spy balloon, saying they have the right to take further actions.
Toronto police say they've made an arrest in a child sexual assault case, but worry there could be more victims in crimes going back decades.
The stars will shine bright in Toronto next year, the All-Stars, that is. The city is set to host NHL All-Star Weekend in 2024.
The Atlantic comes out on top in the NHL All-Star tourney, and new manager magic for Sean Dyche in Everton. Sports at 15.
And coming up in business, Tesla starts a price war in the electric vehicle market. How other companies are responding, whether it'll spur on sales of EVs.
City News Time 9:01.
Time for traffic and weather together on the ones. Here's Colette Desjardins.
And this report is brought to you by Precision Sexual Health Clinic for Men. We had a problem on the eastbound 401 with the ramp to Young. That has cleared, so everything is moving quite well. We had a number of issues on the eastbound 401, but everything is moving now. We haven't noticed any recent troubles. If you're northbound on 400 at Highway 7 in the Express, 2 left lanes are blocked with a collision. It was causing a backup, but not anymore. Emergency crews are on the scene. If you're getting around on city streets, both ways on Queen between Strachan and Gorval down to a single lane because of a broken water main, and Lakeshore both ways between Parliament, it's down to a single lane again because of construction. Your sexual health is important. Dr. Juta at Precision Sexual Health Clinics for Men has a variety